Let's talk to a man who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, already in the Ring of Honor for the Houston Texans, a man who was on CBS's pregame show this past weekend, and I believe this weekend coming up, and he swore on our program last year.
Yes, that's right.
Last week. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Wyatt.
No more swearing. No more swearing. I would like a front seat and some popcorn to that debate. That'd be great.
Dude, there's talking about me potentially. I am not the right person to be in there, but I would like to be in the room where it happens. Yeah. You know, I would like to see the interactions. If they cut to a commercial break, who's mad at who? You son of a. You know, that whole thing. I want to see it all. What a moment that would be. Let's start diving in. What's the shirt today? Every day you come on here, you have an incredible shirt. What's the Wonka bar? What's the Wonka bar, JJ?
Nice.
Oh, come on. A little Willy Wonka. Chocolate Factory, Oompa Loompas, the whole deal. You come on.
All right, Wonka, how much for a golden goose?
Yeah, I know, the lazy-ass grandpa.
Yeah, dead
Grandpa Joe.
No work ethic having son of a
Sack of
bitch.
shit.
Yeah, who's just profiting off his
Popped
grandkid.
up out of bed. Popped up. Here we go.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I could have made it work
Yeah.
this entire time and got us some real food. But instead, we're doing this. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I didn't know that was just for that. Is that a medium right there, pal? That you got that as a kid?
Yeah, so I got a bunch of these shirts. So I was like, I'm going to start wearing them, and they are far too small. Far too small.
Hold on, though. Let's see. I think you probably look good. Let's go. You look really jocked whenever you stood up. Oh!
Jeez.
Still got it. Still got it. Still preparing for a comeback, maybe. Let's talk about the Watts that are in the NFL. Your brother TJ Your brother TJ is on track for like 27 and a half sacks or something like that. Already at 8, had 2 this past weekend, one of them being a game winner. We have the film, we have the plays that you can kind of talk over, but when you're watching your brother right now, what is the sense of pride that you have knowing that he's seemingly unstoppable on a football field right now?
It's pretty incredible, man. It's so much fun to watch, and just knowing how hard he works, knowing how hard it is to play at this level. This one right here was the best because to end the game on 4th and 7 against your division rival with a sack through a double team. Go ahead, bring the chipper, have the tackle, no problem, finish it. And then why not just go ahead and just rip your helmet off, scream to the crowd, have the entire city of Pittsburgh in your hand. I mean, what a moment.
He's really doing it. He's going to break the record, huh? This is it. He's going to go get it.
All he needed was a little incentive from you, I guess. I mean, apparently that's just the thing he needed, just a little Pat McAfee motivation.
I don't know if it's us or the $500,000 not going to your charity, but definitely going to the Pittsburgh Children's Hospital if he breaks this sack record, or if it's his tag team partner on the other side. Highsmith, also phenomenal. These two dudes are wrecking games out there for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I think you have to give a ton of credit to Alex Highsmith on the other side. I mean, he just got paid this offseason. TJ gets paid a couple years ago. Here's Alex right around the edge, strip sack. TJ picks it up. I feel like we have this clip every single week. Like I come and I'm talking to Connor and like, wow, what kind of clips do you want? I'm like, well, let's do that Highsmith fumble. TJ picks it up like every single week. I mean, think about this team and the Steelers and where they are right now. Obviously, we all know the offensive struggles. Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt, if they don't have those two, what does that record look like this year? Like it is a completely different team, and these two are at the forefront of it. It is a lot of fun to watch as an edge rusher myself and an older brother.
Yeah, I would assume it's a great time watching the success that they're having against every single offensive line, every scheme. They're coming to chip him. He splits it. He wins the game. Take the helmet off, 15-yard penalty. Who cares? You know what I mean? You absolutely did it. But on the offensive side, they have some real issues over there in Pittsburgh, and I know you're following this closely. Normally, here we go, Steelers, here we go. Here we go, Steelers, here we go. That's a chant everywhere. PNC Park, when the Pirates are playing, that's going to get chanted. Whenever you're at PPG Paints Arena and you're taking a piss in the bathroom watching the Pittsburgh Penguins, that's going to get chanted. You go down to Kennywood, you're at the potato patch, you're doing your entire thing, that's going to get chanted. It is no longer that chant, though.
Nope.
It is a completely different chant, JJ. Last night at the Pittsburgh Penguins opener against the Chicago Blackhawks, instead of the Here We Go Steelers chant, this is now the chant that is being rang around Pittsburgh. How does TJ, Highsmith, and the boys on the defense keep that all out while the entire city of Pittsburgh is calling for the offense to look vastly different? If you were in that situation, how would you handle that whole thing, JJ?
Well, first, I wasn't going to bring up the Pens game. I know you're a Pens fan, so I didn't want to bring up the game last night. I was tuned into it. Second, I'd love to look into the mindset of the guys on the ice, hearing somebody chant "Fire Canada" when they have no idea what that is.
I'm from Canada.
Sure they were like,
hey, yeah, we had fires up there. Yeah. Oh, hey. Oh. Somebody had to tell a couple of the Russians.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Are they talking about Bedard from Canada? No. Offense coordinator, Steelers. Oh, that guy's hated. Everybody couldn't imagine the surprise.
I mean, it's just gotten to a point up there where it's pretty wild. And it's crazy that obviously even after a win against your division rival, going into a bye week, top of the division, you still have that going on in this city. And I think that just speaks to the frustration of everybody there with the offense. So you ask, what would I do in that locker room? I mean, as a defensive player, you do what you can to go out there and win games. And that's truthfully what they've done. Highsmith has a pick six. TJ has a touchdown. You go get strip sacks. You go do anything humanly possible. You have Joey Porter Jr. get an interception in the end zone. You know, anything you can possibly do to go out there and win that game. And then you just hope they find their rhythm at some point. But, I mean, the play to Pickens was awesome. I mean, that's obviously what you're looking for. You're hoping for more of that, and you're hoping for some of those big plays to hit. But right now, all you can do is just go out there and play damn good defense.
Go ahead, AJ.
JJ, if you're on a team, say, where your defense is outperforming the offense, and you look around the league, it's happening at certain places. I know Jair Alexander was not throwing any shade at his offense, but just saying defensively, it's our job to score points and to stop them. Obviously, we have a young offense trying to get in the groove. How do you find a way, I guess, if you're a defense as a whole, to not resent an offense like that? If it's week after week and you feel like they're not consistently scoring, how do you kind of keep the team together?
Yeah, you know, I was kind of having this conversation last week because after the Houston game, the Steelers obviously were having, but they both sides of the ball were not good. So that's almost better because then neither side can be resentful of the other. It's kind of, hey, we all got to figure it out. When it's very clearly one side week after week after week, it does get difficult. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, there's nothing you can do. It's you're a professional. You go out there, you do your
some
job.
teams have
Honestly,
quit. JJ, we've seen it before where some defenses have, like, quit. I think the Chicago Bears a couple years back. It was like week 11, week 12. You just saw, like, an absolute, like, fed up. There's, like, nothing we do matters almost, you know? That's almost human nature.
Yeah.
You just got to not do that.
But honestly, one of the things you can do, they're on their bye week this week. It is the perfect time for self-scout. You have your defensive guys, you have your defensive coaches watch that offensive film, and you say, hey, what are our weaknesses? Where can we get better? Are we tipping plays? Are there plays that we're leaving on the table? What gaps are weak that we should be attacking? This is that time during this week that those defensive coaches have a chance to actually go and watch that offensive tape and give some of that feedback to the offensive guys, whereas the rest of the year you don't have time to do that. So if there's big things that are going to happen, if there's scheme changes, whatever it may be, this is the week to do it with the bye week.
7-2 after the bye last year.
Yeah.
And went on, obviously, a magical run. They're assuming they're going to be able to do the same thing. I don't know if Pittsburgh believes that, especially as they continue to chant to fire the offensive coordinator in every venue in Pittsburgh. Yeah. They told me down there at the Dueling Piano Bar on the South Side that they actually sang fire, and then the crowd, 2 hours straight. Didn't play any other song.
We're doing it on church on Saturdays, too, on Sunday mornings before the game. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Fire.
We lift our hearts up to the Pittsburgh offense.
Fire, Canada. That's Pittsburgh, though. It is. That could potentially. Oh, man, a priest walking out. Everybody bow their heads. Today, we pray to our Lord and Savior to do one thing and one thing alone. Fire, Canada. And then they start boozing on the wine.
What?
And then they wake up the next day and realize Tomlin's the coach. And Tomlin's never going to do that in the middle of the season. But bye week, maybe they'll get better. Connor has a question for you.
I'm interested. I'm sorry, 1 second. I'm actually interested in your guys' thoughts on this because this is something that I've
Hey, ask Diggs for his real thoughts, though. Diggs is going to do little fake thoughts here if you ask a real question. Just want to let you know that.
All right, Diggs, real thoughts, please. I mean, don't give me any of the bullshit. When a situation like this happens, you see an entire stadium, not even in the same sport, chanting about this guy wanting him fired. Is that something where it's like, hey, makes a lot of money, he's the coach of a team, you know what comes along with it, you know, whether it's a player or a coach. Is that like, hey, you just got to live with it and deal with it? Or does it get to the point where you're like, oh, man, this like.
Starting to feel bad for Canada? Or you think anybody's starting to feel bad for Canada at this point? That's an interesting question.
No, absolutely not. I mean, this is what the NFL is. Like, you get paid, he gets paid to be good at his job. He's never once been good at, not once. No, not one time, okay? There hasn't been one game where.
Preseason, right?
Yeah, he was so good.
Preseason, they're unbelievable. We watched it. We seen it. You've seen it.
I did see it. Yeah, they were playing the most base coverages you could ever imagine playing, and yeah, his high school offense is really good against just base cover 3, maybe some mix in some cover 2 there.
So the answer is no, JJ. Nobody cares. And they're going to start chanting that louder, especially after a bye week. If the same thing happens 2 weeks from now, boy, it's going to get even louder.
Guess what? You're down at the steel mills and you're just throwing hot molten steel all over everybody and killing people and stuff like that. You're going to get fired, okay? You can't show up to your job every day and be bad and keep it. Okay?
Yeah, that ain't how it goes.
Not how the world works.
Not everyone knows that.
Well, there's a lot of situations that we've certainly seen. People bad at their jobs just assume they're going to keep their jobs for the rest of their life because they had a job.
Makes sense.
Very good. Hey, congrats to them having that mindset.
True.
No fear at all.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet.
No fear at all that they're going to lose a job. That must be so sweet. Just go to bed. Who cares? What you do today? Nothing. Wake up. What are you going to do? Nothing.
That's Matt Canada. And then he shows up wearing his stupid hat again. And he's like, oh, here we go.
All right, let's move on from Canada. And thank you for adding fuel to the Canada fire that has already started. Connor has a question for you, JJ.
Yeah, JJ, team that's actually close to the country, Canada, the Detroit Lions, they do not have a problem on offense, and they definitely don't have a problem on defense. What are you seeing out of Hutch in that D-line and, that team as a whole, just because, we all expected the Lions to be good, but now that we're 5 weeks into it and they really are one of the best teams in the NFL, how are you feeling about them right now?
Yeah, they have a very, very strong handle on that NFC North right now, and I think Aiden Hutchinson is playing extremely well. He's a playmaker. I mean, has there been a better fit in terms of a draft pick and Aiden Hutchinson going to the Detroit Lions? Obviously, the Jaguars passing on him. But the guy can make plays. Not only can he make sacks on the edge, but I feel like he has 4 or 5 interceptions this year already. Here, just go ahead, snag it with one hand. Now watch this. Smoked. Absolutely smoked in the thigh. I mean, that is a Charlie horse of epic proportions. And then I'm watching the replay, and I see this still shot. I mean, geez, dude, look at the way.
Hold on, we have a still shot, though. We do have a still shot. Look at that thing.
Look at this. He's fine, and he's perfectly fine.
He got up and jogged, felt it a little bit, but he's like, I just got a sweet pick, though. Let's not ruin this moment. I'm going to dance. And then he ended up playing. It's great recovery. We've seen his off days. We've done a day with him. He does a lot of prehab, rehab, takes care of his body. He's exploded on the scene. But to your point, everybody talks about his work ethic and his engine and his battery and how he's always going. He has some, real sneaky picks. Last year, I think his first one, he was dropping into coverage. It was a screen that he picked off, and then he took it to the house. That one-handed snag, reading the tackle, setting him up, and doing it. The guy's a playmaker all over the place. What a match for them in Detroit, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love watching him play because he does all sorts of things. A sack later in the game, he had a spin move, a nice spin. He can do everything, and he can move. I can't get that picture out of my head of his leg looking like that. Any people don't understand in the NFL you are waking up the next day and trying to get ready for another game this week. You do that to somebody on the sidewalk, they're down for months. Look at that thing.
Yeah, and also you wake up the next day, you have a little pain, and you go, what was that from? And then you see the film and it was like, oh, there it is. My knee is sideways. Okay. I was feeling a little, I was a little stretched. Yeah. Even because your quad probably, I feel a little strain in here. I don't know what was it. You cut
Did you ever have one, Pat? Did you ever take a crazy, crazy hit?
So a guy hit me in my one leg. It was against Oakland. It was a 100%er. We were supposed to score a touchdown. We were supposed to run it within the 5-yard line, and it would be we ran it at the 35. So needed some points. It was on Christmas Eve. I was supposed to do it. Had a magic trick in my hand warmer for when I scored a touchdown with this one. I mean, I was, you know what I mean? This one was wide. This one was wide open. Snap to the holder. Holder gets up, runs, does his thing. Vinatieri was supposed to distract Cuz to go right. It was supposed to be done inside the 5. We were way too far back to do it. As it was getting cold out there, I thought Chuck was sending me on a suicide mission, to be completely honest. Nobody really knew. We were supposed to be on the other hash, too, because the guard that would have had to pull was a defensive guy. Shout out Zach Kerr. Whenever I call the play in there, Zach Kerr goes, we're on the wrong side. I'm supposed to... And I go, yeah, that's what we're doing here, Zach. He goes, good luck, basically, is what Zach Kerr tells me. Still in the NFL. And I get up and I start running, and Darren Bates is the linebacker, and he did not bite at all on Vinatieri. He met me at that hole. Ooh. So I gave him a
little stick.
Yeah, what was your strategy?
I should have jumped over him. I did a spin move instead, and he hit my one leg into my other leg so hard, I end up at the bottom of a pile. My arm hits the ground, ball comes out. Now there's a scrum on top of me. Ref says, it doesn't matter. It was 4th down. Like, ref's talking shit to me pretty much. I'm saying my arm was down. I don't want to fumble on my stat sheet. You know, I was down there as I'm getting killed. Next day, I get up. I have a bruise on this leg right here, and I'm like, what the hell happened to my leg? And then I watched replay back. He hit me so hard that my one knee bruised my other leg. So it was at that moment where I was pretty thankful that I don't run the ball ever, and I realized I'm nowhere near tough enough. So yes, it has happened to me. How about you, JJ? Did you wake up the next day after your nose was bleeding and be like, wow, what happened to my face? Did that happen to you?
Yeah, it happened a lot. It happened a whole lot. I got to send a picture to Connor. I got a bruise that was very bad. It was Fred Taylor. I was coming right off the edge, and it was a free shot on the quarterback, except for it was Fred Taylor standing back there. I don't know why I keep saying Fred Taylor. I don't know if it was Fred Taylor. Anyways, the running back was standing there, and I had a decision to make. I could either go and try and bat the ball because I saw him start to throw it, or I could try and run the running back over and get the sack. And I was like, make the sacrifice for the team. Put your hands up in the air. And I mean, when I tell you he hit me in the thigh board as hard as you could hit somebody, folded me in half, straight to the ground, and my entire thigh was black and blue for the next, 2 weeks straight.
Did you feel soft, or what'd you do? Just get tore all, get back out there?
It's one of those things, kind of. I'm sure, Aiden.
Oh, my God.
Holy hell.
First of all,
there it is.
First of all, I'm going to see your balls here. So happy that's all right there. That is a full.
Tucked them in.
Thank you for doing that. First of all, look at the left quad.
Yeah, what the hell?
Jeez Louise. Good.
Oof, that's first.
Hey, you got some good looking
legs.
legs.
That was painful, man. That was painful. It was. Nothing. I didn't know anything about it really. I mean, I obviously knew I took the hit, but I played the rest of the game, and it's kind of one of those things. You keep the adrenaline going, you keep the blood flowing, it's fine. And then you wake up the next morning and you go to take a step out of bed, and you're like, "Did I stand on a train track? What the hell?" It was brutal too.
You shave your legs?
No, I'm blonde.
Can you put that back up? It looks like you shave your legs. Oh, you shave those quads?
Yeah, you definitely shave the left leg.
You don't shave that quad?
Yeah.
I didn't shave it. This is the second time my legs have been live.
Yeah, a lot of legs, and
I don't shave my legs.
Hey, it's okay if you do. Hey, listen,
that's cool.
Sorry if you do, because it makes your legs look bigger and stronger and faster like that. We also pulled up my play where I got tackled.
If it does, I will.
Yeah, shave the arms too. People shave the arms as well. But we got a chance to pull up the play. I thought I was out there. You saw it.
It was a good spin move.
I literally I set him up, AJ. Wait till it's loading right now in the back. Obviously, our internet is fantastic. But I thought I had this guy. I didn't have a bruise that you just
I can't wait for this.
JJ, this was Christmas Eve, pal. This was the night will be remembered for.
What was the magic trick? What were you going to do?
I was going to make so what we saw Lou Holtz do. What we saw Lou Holtz do with actual Lou Holtz. That is what it was going to be. I was going to pull a handkerchief out, and I was going to go right to the camera, and I was going to make it disappear. And then the ref was going to throw a flag, and I was going to grab that, and I was going to start putting it in. Anyways, here is the play that was supposed to be a touchdown. Look at that.
Oh, you had it.
Oh, my ball was. My arm was down though.
It was
when the ball came out.
Dead.
Yeah,
that's a good spin though. Honestly.
Thank you. It's just natural reaction. Who knows if I actually practice running the ball, what I'm going to come up with? But right there, I should have jumped over top of him right there.
Oh, I don't know. You might have had the gap to the left.
Well, that's Zach Curry actually blocking incredibly well. The guy that was very much worried, he's all the way up there. There's a couple guys on the ground there. Yeah, Darren Bates was cutting off the gap to the left, Darius.
I don't know.
It's so easy with air conditioning and clickers.
Everybody's got the answers.
Oh, yeah.
Blame it on the baseball field, Pat. Just blame it on the fact that you're playing on a baseball field.
Hey.
Now right here, this hurts right here when it comes to ball.
Yeah.
Left arm.
Yeah, I was down though. You know what I mean?
No
we saw it.
fumble.
No fumble.
No fumble.
Absolute crop that they even thought.
And you weren't used to taking hits like that. So, like, for us, like, you take them every week, so whatever. But, I mean, that's a first-timer there. That had to feel good the next couple of days.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days. Anytime I made a tackle, 4 or 5 days, literally the whole this area right here.
Really?
I don't know how you guys dealt with it. Yeah, it just felt like something shot right down my spinal cord every single time. And you guys thank you guys for your service.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And me too. What's that?
Jalen Hurts had one last week. Was it against the Rams? We had a
Yeah, that was
hyper.
Against, it was more similar to the Hutch play.
That was
where,
crazy.
Yeah, he got hit low.
Okay, let's talk about this. Now that we're talking about bodies and everything, the NFL is going to go to 18 games, we assume, at some point, because they're going to see the amount of money that another week of games will bring. But if they add another bye week, that's another 2 weeks of games that they can sell with more prime time. We assume that's where we're headed. Roger Goodell this past weekend was in London talking to a man named Neil Reynolds. This is what he said about the London and England experiment and what it could look like in the future with the NFL.
The Jaguars are playing consecutive games over here and staying over here. And part of that is just to see how would teams react to that. How would, is it a competitive disadvantage or advantage one way or the other? We'll learn something from that will help us determine, can we play more games? Could a team actually play over here? So if somebody came over here to play against a London franchise, and let's say there was more than one team over here, they would probably stay for a few weeks. So this will help us understand.
All right, my ears just pricked up.
Did you say free teams?
Just said more than one team.
Trey.
More than one London team.
Trey.
You did. All right, I'm just checking. All right. MJD, do you think that if, yeah, true, yep, you should always put that if in.
Okay, so JJ, obviously a lot has been made of these England games because they've been a smashing success. Now the Toy Story games are happening. The 9:30 a.m. games are happening. There's another game over there. Jacksonville's played the most games over there because they assumed at some point Jacksonville would make home over there, especially with the Khan family connection to Premier Soccer and everything like that. What are your thoughts on the NFL in England and potentially having its own division over there, JJ?
I mean, I think it's fascinating just purely from a logistical standpoint. I think it's certainly headed that way at some point. I just don't know how they're possibly going to make it work logistically. But I do know – I have two things to say about that because, first of all, I'm sitting there and let's say you're the Bills. You're like, don't experiment against me, man. Like, don't give the other team the advantage against our team. Like, yes, I understand you have to, like, try it, but maybe not against us when we're trying to have a great year. Or, like, obviously for the Jags, like, yeah, let's do it. We'll get the advantage. But now on the flip side, in the Bills' defense, having been a part of international games, having had these conversations on how do you do it best, when do you leave, when do you do all these things, at least last year when I was in the league and having these conversations, the statistics and the data showed that the team that left the latest won the game the majority of the time. So people were upset about them leaving on Friday to play on Sunday. But at least when I was there, the reality of the situation was that the team that left the latest won. So, I mean, didn't work out for them, clearly. And I know they don't want to use it as an excuse, but it also probably doesn't feel too good to be sitting there hearing like, yeah, we're going to just have some fun and experiment with some things.
Yeah, we're trying to see how big of an advantage it is for guys to be acclimated to the time because 9:30 a.m., that's early, bro. That is an early time, especially for the Buffalo Bills. You only have 36 hours to get acclimated to the new time zone to play at 9:30 a.m. So you're going to start slow. You would assume most teams that get over there and don't get fully transitioned into their time frame. But yeah, you're right. Buffalo Bills are like, we experiment against like, I don't know, some trash ass team.
Patriots.
Like, if you're trying to think about this logistically, this is a fascinating conversation. How would you make it work? Are you going to put a whole division over there, or are you going to put one or two teams and then the team's going to play 2 weeks back to back? If you play on the London team, do you have to have a house in London and a house in America? Like now your family, like your kids going to school, like there's a million questions that are just fascinating.
Well, here's another one. Taxes. Am I getting taxed? Because if they have a home base in America and also they're over, so I'm getting taxed by London because I'm working over there. Right. England, again. Probably something else. And then also the home base, wherever the home team is, that there's like all those little things to be decided. But I think we all know that the inevitability of this all is that there's going to be a few teams over there as soon as technology makes it possible to fly over there quicker. I'm excited for them to figure it out, though, because I think Europe getting involved in football is good. Because if we get that hooligans, vibe, in a football game on a
We
regular.
got it, man. We got it. Haven't you just turn on Twitter any Sunday? There's fans just throwing haymakers every week.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We're talking about like singing songs,
Right. Yeah.
getting after it, like the Burnley fans,
I
like the
see.
Burnley fans, for instance. How are we? Do we stink? Are we good?
We can move on to the next topic.
Oh,
Relegated?
Chelsea
We had a rough week.
boys.
We started out 1-0. We went up 1-0, and it was incredible and awesome. We were playing good, and then Raheem Sterling just had a phenomenal game on the left wing.
That'll happen.
Put
That'll
it to
happen.
us. So we lost 4-1. We're in the international break now, but we have a big game against Brentford coming up next week, Saturday. So yeah.
any of your guys play international? Yeah.
Yeah, we got guys all over the place. We got a guy in Norway. We got a Moroccan. We got a bunch of good guys.
When are we going to win again? We winning again soon? Like whenever we get back, we think we got a good chance to get to win.
That's what next week Saturday is what we're looking at, man. I'm considering flying over just for the game and flying back. I have an itch. I got an itch to get out there, man. I want to get to it.
Yeah, they need you too. Why don't you bust your nose over there?
Yeah.
Why don't you get a little blood? Why don't you show them that thigh?
Yeah.
Why don't you lift your pants and why don't you bruise yourself? We go over there and let them know what it could be like. So we lose to Chelsea, obviously. We're down there ranked. Oh no, bottom 3 is where we need not be, right?
Correct. We need to get out of there.
Shit.
Oh no! Come on, Burnley. We need to start climbing the
It's a
ladder.
long season, boys.
You
It's a
guys
long
should get
season.
messy.
Everybody
Get messy.
settle down.
Talk to Ryan Reynolds. He knows how to do it.
Yeah, Wrexham.
Yeah.
See, I don't think Wrexham's at this level. I don't think. I think they're still.
Yeah, they're below.
I believe.
Way
They're
below.
a couple below.
Why
It's
don't you
okay.
get messy? Get messy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I put in a call. Still waiting to hear back. Still waiting to hear back.
Go ahead, AJ.
JJ, say you're still playing, you're a free agent, and there was, say, a division in London. How seriously would you look at that team to go sign with them and go play over there?
I mean, the logistics of it are fascinating. I don't know how that would all work, but I do think that the expansion of it, I do think that the fan base is over there. I think it's really exciting. I think it's a great time. I mean, I obviously invested in an English football club. I love it over there. I love London. I love all of it. So I really do think it would be fun. I think it would be great. I just talk about your body recovering and figuring out how to make all that work. I mean, it would be so damn difficult from that standpoint, but you would also be like kind of a pioneer and on a starting something new over there. And I mean, yeah, could I absolutely see that there's an entire division over there someday? Or I mean, way, way, way down the line, you literally have the American and the European division or something like that. Could be really cool.
I think it could be sweet. It's going to take the right people, though. Like, they're going to have to get star power over there.
Yeah.
And you know how the NHL does the expansion draft? The NHL makes the new teams good immediately because they want fans to kind of hop on board and get there. It's been a while, since the Texans? Is that the last expansion team that the NFL has done, I think?
Yeah, it was. The Texans in 2001, I believe. You know what was fascinating? I was watching that Pens game last night, and it was like 10:30 p.m. and they were going into the third period. Then so they're playing the Blackhawks in Pittsburgh. Today, the Blackhawks are in Boston playing the Bruins. That schedule's wild. That game didn't finish till like 11 o'clock last night. They now have to, as you know, pack up, eat everything, get on a plane, fly, land, drive to a hotel, and now they're already going to be on the ice again here in a couple hours. Like that. That's pretty wild.
Well, and they have a morning skate, too, normally, whenever they get to a place. And then they have their afternoon nap. I guess in the NHL world, from what I understand, this afternoon nap thing, like, we could be mockable, because it's like babies take naps. Like, that is not what adults do. It's like, I guess the NHL afternoon nap is like one of the most vital things in the entire NHL. Guys have like a 2.5 hour slot where it's like, nobody call this particular guy for 2.5 hours. He's a napper for 3 hours. He's a 90-minute napper, so we need to do things like that. Is how they survive. The NBA as well. The NBA runs on very limited sleep. I have no idea how they figure it out, but these boys going to play. That's what Rich Paul told us.
Yeah, that's right.
It's more the teams looking out for the players as opposed to the players saying we don't want to play is what Rich told us yesterday.
Yeah.
Happy we played football. I'm happy I played a position and never got hit. On the flip side of that. Speaking of injuries and stuff, Tone Diggs has a question for you, JJ.
Yeah, JJ, guy that you played with, Deshaun Watson, he was cleared by doctors but not cleared by himself. How does that work? And, is there any added motivation when you get paid $230 million guaranteed to play when you're cleared by doctors but not yourself?
Answer the question, JJ.
I don't know the full details of the situation, obviously, but I mean, if that's how it is put, that cleared by doctors and not cleared by yourself, yeah, I mean, that's sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes it's you're cleared by yourself and not by the doctors.
Most times, right? And that, most times, I feel like that's kind of the most of the conversation. That's why what's going on in Cleveland is such a big convo, because it's like, if normally the doctor's pretty hesitant too, right, nowadays, because of everything that had happened, I think, in the NFL, a little bit more hesitant to clear people now because they don't want to have the narrative of like, we only care about the teams, to hell with these players. Yeah. So it's like for the team to announce that he's cleared from our doctors and then him saying, I don't feel right. Yeah, it's interesting.
There's got to be something. There's got to be something more going on there where he's just not capable of doing what he needs to do, or he's not, like, physically, yes, you're not going to hurt yourself more, but maybe you're still not able to do what you want to do. I don't know. But yeah, I think there's probably a lot of times where I should not have been cleared from, most likely.
You a practice guy? You a big practice guy? Every day you're doing practice full speed, every rep?
Yeah, that was probably to my detriment. I thought it was extremely important. I wanted to be in full pads and go out there and play. I'm a big believer in you have to play football to be better at football. And yeah, it probably was not the smartest take.
AQ, you agree with JJ? That's what you did as well?
I looked forward later in my career to Wednesdays off, and then Thursday, Friday, no pads. But I agree with him. I did need to be out there to see it. If I was in spiders and could kind of get through it mentally, I was okay.
Did you see this offensive lineman flop the other night, JJ? Did you see this thing?
I've seen the reactions from you guys. I hadn't actually seen the
Good
play.
news, we got it. Here it is, 50s, who you're looking at. Oh! That's offensive lineman now, JJ.
AQ would never.
They don't make them like they used to.
Hey, let's talk about Max Crosby. We've talked about a couple different pass rushers. He is game wrecker. Supposed to have Chandler Jones on the other side. Obviously, that is not the case this year. But what he's been able to do, I think, is not getting chatted about enough because the Raiders, 2-3 or whatever?
Yes.
They were staring down being this team that's throwaway. He's unbelievable at what he does.
Yeah, Max is a phenomenal player. And I think that the way that he flies around, the way that he plays the game, how hard he goes, the way he plays the run, I mean, he just terrorizes people in the run and the pass. And like you said, he's kind of doing it, not by himself, but I mean, he is a mass majority of the production of that defense. And like if you're going into a game against the Raiders, you have to stop one guy first. And yet he still goes out there and he plays great football. So big fan of the way he plays the game, big fan of the energy he plays it with. And you can't play with a guy like that and not want to play 100 miles an hour yourself because you're like, look at this guy. He's like, I mean, his nickname is the Condor, I believe, and that's pretty badass nickname.
Yeah, it's a sick nickname, especially in a time where it's tough to find a new nickname that's sick. The Condor is certainly a good one. And if you even think about him, the person, like, he's sober, right?
Yeah.
Very publicly sober. He's in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that is, you think about just the mental discipline that he's had to develop through his life and the state that he's in and the way he's playing football. And you would think that maybe some people would turn soft. He's chirping.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking shit. Yeah. He's doing his whole thing. I remember you being mic'd up. You're a big-time chirper. I don't think that gets talked about much.
Time to time.
I know. I heard that one said, shouldn't have picked on J.J. Watt. Isn't that what the one mic'd up thing? I think
well, and then there's the Cardinals, where maybe we're just better. Huh?
Yeah, maybe we're just better.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were a big talker whenever that switch would go on, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you get that adrenaline flowing. You start to feel pretty good. You get in the zone. And the best one that I had was definitely there was a game against the Saints, and I had a enjoyable day that day, and I was letting them have it a little bit. They had a backup tackle in, and they left him one-on-one. And so I just kept looking at the sidelines after every big play I would make, and I was just like, you guys, give him some help. Like, please. I was sort of begging them, like, please give him some help. Delaney Walker was another guy that I had a bunch of good battles with. He was in Tennessee for a very long time. And he would always be in charge of chipping me on the edges. And so we would just have full-blown conversations at the line of scrimmage. Like, we would line up and I'd be like, oh, son of a bitch. And he'd be like, yep, I'm right here. And I'd try and move my alignment outside. I'd try and move my alignment inside. And he would just move wherever I moved. And he was a good chipper. Like, some guys, don't chip that well. I mean, that Ravens one obviously on TJ kind of whiffed there. Delaney Walker didn't whiff. He gave some serious shots right in the rib cage, and so I respect that. I respect the hell out of him, and he made my job harder for sure.
Delaney Walker, AFC South legend, dude.
Yeah.
He got in a fight with Ewald, I think, in a couple of our games. Yeah, he's awesome.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Delaney Walker was awesome to watch.
Big boat guy?
Yeah.
Yes. He has a
Big
cigarette
boats.
boat.
Cigarette
Yeah,
boats,
he's got
yeah.
big boats down there. Yeah, living down
He
there.
was on the show talking about it.
I think he's with Bussin now. I think
Yes.
he's doing some stuff with Bussin. Great personality. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, JJ, after the Niners thoroughly beat the piss out of the Cowboys on Sunday night, us and kind of everyone else has just crowned them champions pretty much. And obviously everyone's been talking about the offense and Brock Purdy, and rightfully so. They have so many weapons. But on the defensive side, it seems like there's only a handful of guys that kind of get all the chatter, but they are unbelievable on the D-line. Their linebackers are insane. So is their secondary. A, how fun would it be to play on that defense? And B, do you think there's any truth to like, oh, hey, they might be peaking too early and they're going to be in trouble down the road?
They're a damn good football team, man. I don't know about peaking too early. They're just so good, and they seem to have the best chemistry, and they seem to have the guys that kind of understand it and just have fun with it while also just dominating everybody they play. I mean, you talk about guys on that defense. I think it's crazy how many players are in that team, from Trent Williams, George Kittle, Purdy. I mean, all these names, Bosa, and I think people are starting to come around on it. But Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are playing as good as any linebackers in the league. I mean, maybe as good as any middle linebackers since a couple of 49ers guys in Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. I mean, there's just something about middle linebacker wearing that 49ers uniform, and these two fit that perfectly. I mean, Fred Warner flies all over the field. He's one of the smartest players in the league. He always knows what's going on, and then he just goes. This play is one of my favorite plays. It's been shown a lot this week. Breaks up the mesh concept, forces the Dak to pull the ball down, and then goes and gets the sack. I mean, the mental aspect of that play and the physical skills and ability to be able to make it all happen is unbelievable.
So he covered two guys there pretty much, right? He covered two guys, disrupted both
and
of those.
the quarterback.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Run that play one more time.
It's like,
so
it's incredible. He
pause
covers
it.
both crossers.
He's covering both those guys right now. Pretty much. Dak's supposed to just drop that off right now to them.
Yep.
And
He
instead,
covers both of them.
Splits him.
Then he doesn't run at Dak right away. He kind of stays on the line of scrimmage, just kind of like, hang on. Now he puts his hands up, forces him to pull the ball down. And, oh, yeah, I might as well just make the sack. I'm here anyway. Like, what a damn play, man. And he's one of the nicest guys, too. I mean, literally after the game, we'll come up and talk. Like, I have a lot of respect for Fred Warner.
Hey, he does a lot of chirping as well. I got a chance to watch him play. I think he's electrifying both during the play and post-play. The conversation out of that game, though, is that Dak stinks. I think that Niners defense probably going to make a lot of people stink.
Yeah, I mean, like, you lose one game and it's against a very, very good football team, and all of a sudden, I feel like we have this thing now with former players that are analysts that love to just trash on guys. Like, I don't know if it's clicks or what it is, but, I mean, we're tossing around terms like garbage, like trash, like sucks, and I'm like, you were a player once. Like, you don't this game is hard. Yes. Like, can guys improve and play better? Yes. But I don't know where we got off now just throwing so much dirt on top of people when we were all in those shoes once. And yeah, you've had a bad game. You want to put up a low light reel of me? You could make me look like the worst player in NFL history. I mean, I've been crack blocked by a receiver and knocked on my ass before. You put that up, yeah, I look like garbage too. Like, I don't know. We can be critical without being just downright like ridiculous.
We'll have that low light reel for JJ next week.
Need that.
Yeah, that's a question for you.
JJ, a guy who's definitely not garbage, Jaylen Carter in Philly. We see what this guy can do on the interior D-line. When you watch him play, like, how do you ever block this guy?
Dude, it's fun to watch him play, man. I mean, he is big, he moves extremely well, and he is strong as an ox. I mean, he throws people out of the way. He understands the position very well. He knows how to play double teams. He knows how to rush the passer. He has good counter moves. To be as big, physical, and strong as he is as a rookie, combined with the knowledge and the technical ability of playing the position he has, man, is it a lot of fun to watch. And it's a position that, people don't love. Like, it's not like people are cracking on the tape and they can't wait to watch D tackle play. Trust me, I know, I've been one. But he makes it fun to watch the position, and he's just throwing giant human beings out of the way. looks like Philly's got a special one for a long time up there.
Only going to get better too, right? That's like a matter of fact. The more reps you have in the NFL, the better you're going to get, and the stronger he's going to somehow get as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got now the full-time job now. I always tell people that when I got to the NFL, you don't have classes anymore. You have enough money to have the proper nutrition, to buy the proper things to recover, to have the best bed to sleep in. You know, you got all the right things. So now he's only going to get bigger, faster, stronger, and he's going to get comfortable playing against NFL offenses. He's going to learn these cadences and rhythms. He's going to learn little tips and tricks. He's going to get good, man.
They call him the Rhino over there. It makes a lot of sense. Darius has the last question for you here, JJ.
Yeah, I got a question. We talked enough football. Let's go to another great sport. I'm a one-man show in here when it comes to this sport. Everyone else hates it. But heard that you recently became a fan of F1. Relax.
Max Verstappen won again.
Good question, D-Bud.
Are you still watching even when Max dominated? And if you get a chance, are you going to that race in Vegas next month?
So it's a great question. Honestly, the domination has made it a little bit less enticing to watch, I have to say. And then you can also go to the argument, well, Mercedes have been dominating for so many years with Lewis. So I don't disagree with that. But I went to the race in Miami last year. A, it was unbelievably hot, and B, obviously it being a racetrack, there's only so many entrances to get in. You have to walk over the track, and so it was very, very, very crowded and very tough. And then finally, you can't see anything.
Well,
you can stand there and you can be sitting in the stands.
It's
literally
there's nothing happening.
It's the
worst.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Sounds
Pit
great.
pass,
Yeah. Hey, JJ, we appreciate the hell out of you on this day. Don't be wasting your time with that.
Wow, what a cutoff. They really don't want to talked about on
Hey, it's tough over here, JJ.
Buddy, I mean, there's just so many. IndyCar about 10 times better. NASCAR, let's not even get crazy. There's some go-kart tracks down here that are just much better racing here.
That's pinnacle motorsport.
Yeah,
the pinnacle.
Yeah, right. All right, let me read what they say on Netflix. Okay, we see the cars just.
I don't want to piss off the people in Indy, so I will say sprint car is great.
No, that's good. Sprint car too. Sprint car's good too. Sprint car's good. You know you're racing.
I grew up in Wisconsin. They had the dirt track stuff. I loved it. Slinger Speedway.
All right.
Shout out Slinger Speedway.
Shout out to them and to you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. SportsCenter in 7. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Go.
Hey, we're still live, but I mean, I hit that one right on the screws there. That's the reason why I pivoted away from it. But also, we didn't know F1 talk was coming.
Yeah, what are we doing?
We're having a good Wednesday.
Yeah. What the hell was that,
The
Butler?
NHL had the puck drop, last night.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL's got a lot of stuff happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
We got J.J. Watt on.
You want to see?
I mean, that's
You want to
baseball.
see ratings drop? Talk NHL and F1.
No, not the.
Not
Watch your
NHL.
mouth.
Not NHL.
Who's your.
Did we like
No,
Disgusted.
See what happened?
Wait,
out?
AJ, quit the show because we're talking NHL. What?
Send them out.
Way to go, D-Bud.
Hope you're happy, Darius.
Thanks a lot,
And
Butler.
Max Verstappen throttling somebody else.
World
Jeez.
champion, 3-time world champ.
You watch the NHL? Who's your team? We saw we've seen your hockey highlights. You got a clap bomb, hey.
Hey, pal.
Hey, Paul, you got a
About
clap
that
bomb
thing.
over there.
I love hockey, man. I love it. I love to get on the ice. I actually just got fitted. TJ's birthday gift to me this year was a full set of hockey gear, skates, everything. He got skates for my son too. It was a pretty badass gift.
Hey, it's TJ's birthday today. What'd you buy him? Same thing?
Oh, I should have mentioned that in the show.
We're still on the show, but you're right. Should have said it on ESPN.
I don't know why. I don't know why I thought we're not on the show.
Yeah, come on.
Happy birthday, Trent. So proud of you, buddy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my brother. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Trent.
Happy birthday, Trent.
No, I got him. He's very TJ's very he likes very thoughtful, funny but thoughtful, small little gifts. He hasn't got them yet, so I don't want to say what they are.
Smart.
There's a lot of little things.
Cheap
in
stuff.
sentimental
Get him a
importance.
pool guy, please.
Yeah, we need a pool guy, so he's not out there doing
It's
that.
good callback. Good callback.
I worry about him.
But yeah, the skates thing was really cool. So now I go down. There's a bunch of Arizona Coyotes, a bunch of the guys that play a pickup game, and they invited me out to play a pickup
Big
game
arena.
with them. So
They're still a team?
I hit the. They play it.
Why don't you buy that team?
It's a nice
you bought the
arena.
Burnley team. Why don't you buy that team?
Probably costs as much as a
50K.
hockey.
People tell me stuff like that all the time. I don't know how much money you think I have. Yes, I'm very, very fortunate. I do not have
For JJ
kind of
Watt.
funny.
What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
you just walk in
you
and
mean?
claim the team, they give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Doesn't cost anything.
Oh, Burnley, I like to win.
Can I just plant my flag?
Yeah.
Bingo.
I'll take it.
I think with the Coyote, that would actually work.
Sure.
They think
Joining us back after getting throttled by Max Verstappen, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
the Hawker.
Hey.
AJ, you missed some good conversation about hockey. Did you watch the hockey last night, AJ?
I did watch a good amount of that. I mean, what a heartbreaker for the Pens. They had it the whole way.
Oh, why is everybody bringing this up?
It was brutal.
Are you a Blue Jackets guy?
Yeah.
Not as much right now. I'm a Colorado Avalanche fan at the moment. Have been for a few years.
So his brother-in-law, Jack Johnson, huge mitts. Huge. We're talking about frying pan mitts. I've never seen something like it. That's his brother-in-law, so he's pulling for wherever he goes. He actually got a chance to chug out of Lord Stanley because Jack Johnson became a Stanley Cup champion.
Is it everything you hoped it would be?
It was pretty amazing, not going to lie. Jack actually just took a puck to the face and split his whole other side of his lip yesterday or 2 days ago. So he's doing well.
That is a good thing about hockey players. They will put their faces in front of these little rubber things and say, bust out my teeth. That's what I want to do. I want to win a game. You would have been a pro hockey player?
Did you like the ref mic'd up thing? Like, have you guys talked about that?
This was a beautiful moment between Kelly Sutherland, Sidney Crosby, and the future of the NHL, Connor Bedard, right before the puck drop on opening night.
Oh, damn it. I missed it. Very
season. Connor, welcome to the NHL, man. Okay, guys, it's showtime. Let's have a great game.
Sid didn't say a thing to him.
Nope. No,
Sid didn't say anything. And Kelly Sutherland was waiting until Connor looked at him, too. Connor? Welcome to the NHL. Thank you. Let me fix all my... Oh, you're dropping a puck. Oh, fuck. All right, let's get this thing started. Kid forgot his stick going out there to begin with. He's the future. How much do you know about him?
I know a little bit. I mean, I know he's obviously an unbelievable player at the junior level, but I mean, to his credit, like, tuned in last night just to watch him play. Like, I wanted to see what that was like. I wanted to see how he played. I saw the whole stick thing. I saw the story behind the stick thing, which was in a whole nother rabbit hole I went down, which I went pretty deep in the hockey rabbit hole last night.
Ooh.
So that's a thing, the stick thing? Because I know he had his helmet was off.
Yes, and they let him and the other rookie, I think, do the pregame skate without the helmets. But then you sent in another thing that was pretty sweet about his mom, too.
Yeah, his mom with the coach.
Yes.
So his mom wanted to move into no, JJ, you pick.
Slow down. Jeez. Your head out of the gutter.
I just react to the words I hear. I just react.
Well, we appreciate you being that invested in the conversation and reacting to everything. But the way you reacted tells us a little bit more about you than it tells about us. Just want to let you know that. But anyways, here's the coach of the Chicago Blackhawks talking about an interaction with Connor Bedard's mom.
We're going to move into the same apartment building I was in, and his mom like, well, yeah, we don't want to get too far ahead, and he's got to make the team. And I kind of looked at her, and I said, I think you can look at it.
That's that hockey mentality, though. Like the most humble group of humans of all time. It feels like it's an old school throwback sport. You love the sport. Would you have been a pro if you would have played? Stuck with it? I assume you would have.
I mean, I like to believe so. I mean, I truly love that sport, man. I started skating when I was 3 years old, and I love that sport. And I still say, like, the puck hitting the back of the net is one of the greatest feelings in all of sports. And I had so much fun doing it. But I also, at the very same time, and now that I'm an adult and I see it all, so my parents, we had to stop playing because it just literally feel like selfish because I was sitting there crying, and as a parent, to see your kid crying because you can't afford for them to play a sport that they want to play, like, I can't believe I put them through that because I can't only imagine now seeing my son with that reaction. So I feel bad. Apologies to my parents, but thank you for supporting it as long as you did.
Hey, hockey's expensive. That's what they say, and they don't really explain it much. But here's JJ. Now that goalie, obviously treason. Yeah, come right there immediately. But we need to have a JJ Watt. Look at that. Hey.
It's a bomb.
We'll see Bar South. We'll see Bar South, baby.
Hey, you're a fucking guy on the ice, JJ. That's for real.
Oh, it is for real, man. I love it. Up there in Wisconsin, you have to be. You basically put on skates as soon as you can walk. And my dad would take me to the rink all the time and play hockey. And we'd go to Milwaukee Admirals games. That's really one of the first professional sports experiences that I had where I got to go see it. And I got to catch tickets dropping down from the blimp. I used to love those moments, and that's one of those things that inspired me to be a professional athlete. I'd go watch the Milwaukee Admirals play, and I'd think to myself, one day I could be out there warming up with the pros. And it didn't happen to be hockey for me, but it did help me get to the NFL.
Hey, you got some mitts too, huh, pal? You see him dangling a little bit. Big guy. You would have had to fight.
We got any skaters on the show? Anybody here skate?
Nah, we played on the street, though.
We skated in New
I
England.
can skate, yeah.
Yeah, you have to skate in New England.
I'm from Michigan, same deal as Wisconsin, is exactly what JJ just said.
You guys are skating on lakes trying to do triple axles. Okay, you're not playing.
No, we are.
No.
You're not Gordon Bob Day out here.
I played hockey before I played any other sport.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
In real hockey cities. That's how it works.
Yeah, right. You guys are sailing up there. You're not.
Bean
in the summer.
Yeah?
What'd you say?
The bean pot up there in Boston.
Thank you, JJ. I mean, let these guys know. My God, it's about time someone with some real hockey sense came in here.
Ty can skate. We see him skate around the office all the time.
Yeah, that's right. I prefer blades. That's my weapon of choice. But if you want to get me out on the ice, I'll fucking go blue line to blue line pretty goddamn quick. Yeah.
All right.
Come on. Are we just abandoned? Oh, we're not on the. Never mind. All right. Gosh, I'm an amateur. Get me out of here. What a shit show. Sorry. I thought he said the F-bomb on the air again.
No, that's only you.
Yeah.
That's only you.
Yeah.
Professional.
Plus, the window has closed, my friend.
You
We
can
can
say it
say
right
fuck
now.
now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, do you want to let something fly, JJ, now that you're all grown up and you're a dad and your kid's watching? Do you want to drop any? Here's Ty. This is Ty.
No.
Well, you can see that's quite the drop off the stage there. I mean, you're not typically doing that on your standard rink.
Those are sick blades.
Run that back. Run that back.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, this is the launch of the NHL playoffs, I think. Look at the dangles. Look at the goal. Yeah. Scored.
Yeah. Oh.
What were you? Why, it looked like you knew the drop off was there, and yet you still botched it.
Yeah, he's trying to do a little trick. He's trying to do some tricks. You know,
Our
he's
TV,
flying around.
by the way, our TV's being leveled by a couple DVDs.
If we want to look at the old school off pause, the look at the bottom.
The helmet.
Well, that's only hockey lid.
Yeah.
That's the only hockey bucket we had
didn't have
at the
this one
time.
just yet.
That's why we bought that one,
bingo.
actually. But yeah, that TV
Those are
stand.
DVDs down there?
Yeah, had to do it. You know, you think the stage would be level, but over time that just doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Boy, that place was such a shithole. I mean,
It was fun.
I am so happy we are not in there every single day anymore. It is great to be here.
The ceiling in there.
But
That doesn't get enough talk.
Clap it up for the progress of the show.
Yes.
Clap it
Hey,
up
you're
for the
right.
progress
Clap
of the
it up.
show.
Clap
What
it
a
up.
good job.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
All right.
You've been watching Gary V's breaks on Fanatics Live. Have you seen any of these?
No, I can't say I have. What is it?
I'll send you the link next time they're going.
Yeah,
You'll love it.
It is must watch.
Make sure you got a nice glass of vino if you're watching.
Yeah,
JJ.
in about 10 hours, because you will not be able to turn it off.
I'll tell you what, I got captivated in there. I got lost in there. I watched.
Cancel your plans.
That's what I'm
Cancel.
saying.
Yes.
The wife was
Really?
about fed
It's
up.
like trading cards? It's like opening cards?
Well, it's Gary V opening Gary
sweet.
V-Mon,
V-Mon.
Yeah.
which are the cards that he created.
He's the boss.
And he's beat the boss is the game where he's going against somebody in the chat. And he's living and dying with every one of these cards that he's doing. I mean, it is, I'm telling you, I almost saw that guy get broken because there was a slow snail that came through and dropped an elbow on his optimistic apostle.
Yeah, he lost the Luka Doncic rookie card, and it basically seemed as though one of his kids died. And then he also mentioned right after he's got about 15 Luka Doncic rookie cards, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it was an awesome night. We spent a night with Gary V, and I did not plan on being there that long, but me and about 300 others sat on X and watched.
Couldn't stop.
From the very beginning to the end. And
What a treat.
Gary, thank you for everything, dude.
Love you, Gary.
Thank you.
I would say my wife was not happy at all.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't.
She couldn't see the electricity.
She couldn't sleep because she was too excited. She couldn't sleep.
I don't know if it got her
that
so
makes
jacked
sense.
up. She only had the audio. She didn't have the video. Need both. Need to see Gary while listening to Gary. She could only hear him yelling out of my phone because I had that thing at max, too, because I didn't want to miss any words in that entire thing.
Right.
I'll send you the link next time, JJ. Get you inspired.
Yeah, I love inside jokes. I'd love to be a part of one someday. I love inside jokes.
All right, sweet. Maybe one day. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ
All
Watt.
right, guys.
Everybody.
Thank you.